Hi you guys! So today is Saturday, February 20th, and I'm super excited because it is my second raw vegan living foods class, and I'm getting ready to go, and I'm so excited. I have everything packed up, like my Vitamix and cutting boards. It's a lot of stuff to haul in, but this is going to be really fun, and I'm really excited. So I guess this is my new thing now, where I do one of these every couple months, but it's so fun, and I got permission to film, so I'm gonna film everything, or maybe just show you a little bit of it. I don't know if you really want to see an hour-long video, but yeah, so here we go into the class. Well, first of all, I'm Victoria, and I thank you guys so much for coming out today and spending a little bit of your Saturday with me. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little backstory about me and why I'm here doing this. So, first of all, I was born with really bad skin problems. I remember when I was in first grade, I had eczema so bad on my arms that I would scratch it so bad that it would bleed, and I would have to go to school with gauze wrapped around my arm. So I've just always had skin problems. And then when I was about 10 or 11, I started getting acne, but it wasn't like normal teenage hormonal acne. It was like cysts, like I called them tumors, and they were all over my body. It wasn't just on my face. So it was horrible, and it was not aesthetically pleasing. So, of course, I spent my teenage years eating horribly, not exercising, and not knowing that my skin issues were coming from the inside out, and it was coming from what I was eating. But the good news is that whenever I was about 20 or 21, I all of a sudden had this epiphany that my issues were coming from the inside out. So I remember I started thinking that it was my liver that was causing this, and I just started thinking of my internal organs and glands, which I had never done before. So I immediately beelined it to the grocery store, and it was just a conventional grocery store, and I got a bunch of fruits and vegetables. And unfortunately at that time I didn't know, the difference between organic and conventional produce and all of that. So I just started eating conventional produce, but about a month later, I stumbled upon the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, which I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's pretty popular. The man's name is Joe Cross, and he was really overweight, and he had a skin problem as well that he was on steroids for. I think he would get like rashes all over his arms and hives and stuff, so he was on steroids for it, and it just felt terrible. So he embarked on a 60-day juice fast, and so that sparked me to get a juicer immediately. And my parents are over there, and they got a juicer too. But then a month later, all of this happened sequentially. It was really crazy. A month later, I stumbled upon Dan McDonald's videos on YouTube. He's called The Life Regenerator, and he is a raw vegan. So I remember the first video I saw of him, he was sitting down in a motel room, because he's like a free spirit traveler, and he was eating a raw vegan hamburger, and it was just tomatoes and onions and cucumber, and I just really thought that was cool. So literally overnight I went raw, and I have not looked back since. Obviously my skin has cleared up. I also used to have really bad digestive problems, and I thought I had hypoglycemia. I would get low blood sugar all the time, and I was just a total mess. So the raw foods have really helped me, and the cool thing about raw veganism is that nothing is cooked. I don't cook my food. Everything is raw and living in its natural state. And I really love that because it keeps the water intact, the water in the fruits and vegetables. It keeps the enzymes intact and all of the minerals and vitamins. So it's really, really cool, and I love it. And it's totally healed me. I have the most energy I've ever had in my life. I feel healed, and I owe it all to my diet and my lifestyle. I do other things in my life than just eating healthy. Like I love going to the sauna for detoxification, and massages are really good and stuff like that. Also exercise, but the food is such a big part in health. So I really enjoy being a vegan because I started going into it for health, but pretty soon after that it started turning into the ethical side of it. I love no longer being karmically tied to the slaughter and the torture of animals and stuff like that. So it's just a win-win for me, and I really love it. And also the food is excellent. So I have 3 recipes that I'm going to be doing here today. The first one is raw vegan chili, so we're going to start with that. So these tools I use on a daily basis, either the Vitamix, which is my favorite blender, and the food processor over here. So the raw vegan chili is awesome because there's no animals in it, and it's really, really good. And it's not cooked, but you wouldn't even know it, right? So what we're going to start out with I'm going to put some gloves on here. We're going to start out with tomatoes. These recipes are super easy, and I mean, it's just like if you're on any other diet, you just make the recipe, but it's really, really good for you.
Clarity of mind, clarity.
Yes, absolutely, yes. My mental clarity is really quick, and I can tell the difference. I started being a raw vegan in college, so I was studying a ton, and I noticed that my studying got better, and I could concentrate more. You know, once you clean the inside, it really does affect the mind too, I really think. That's a really good question. Also, if you guys want to ask any questions throughout this, please feel free. But we're going to start out with tomatoes here. So we're going to blend probably 2 to 3 tomatoes. It depends how big of a batch you're making. I love natural grocers because all of the produce is organic. You don't have to hesitate. You know everything you're buying is really pure and organic, which I love. So I'm really curious, who in here has heard of veganism or raw veganism? Yeah, okay. So why did you guys come to this class? Because you're interested in it, or just because you were here today, or?
Interested in.
Yeah. It's quite the craze lately, but it's
Empower.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you get cold turkey from regular eating to?
You know, I did, and not everyone does that. I think most people definitely have a transition period. I think that I went cold turkey because this was my calling, you know?
Yeah.
But everyone is different, and there's definitely cooked vegan recipes that are good for transition, and there's, you know, everyone's different with that. But I did go cold turkey, and I really loved it. Okay, so now I'm adding 2 dates. I think this might be the secret to this recipe because the dates add sweetness to it. Often sweet and savory go really well together. Okay, then we're going to do some sun-dried tomatoes over here. These are oil-free, but they do have a little sea salt in them, so it gives it, you know, a little kick of salt in there. But I don't really overdo it with salt.
Dates and what?
It's dates, sun-dried tomatoes, and tomatoes is what I have so far. Then we're going to add a little cayenne pepper. Not much, because it can get really spicy really quickly. And then a few dashes of cumin. Okay. And the cool thing about raw foods is that nothing has to be exact. It's not like baking or anything like that. You can just throw stuff in a blender or chop it up in a bowl, and it's all about experimentation. So we're going to start this. And like this is pretty runny, so I'm just going to add more sun-dried tomatoes. And I'm going to be putting this in a bowl with corn in it. I like to pulse. I love the food processor. It's so handy. That took what, about 5 seconds? So these foods are really easy. So you take this mixture, and I have a big bowl of corn here. I would prefer fresh corn in the summer and stuff, but this was just frozen corn that I ran warm water on, and it thaws out really quickly. And of course it's organic. I really am a huge proponent of eating non-GMO, organic, and I'm sure most of you guys know that most corn is GMO. We definitely don't want that. Okay, so we're going to stir this in here. Okay, and then just for funsies, we put in, I have chopped up orange pepper here. Red pepper is really good too. And then some yellow pepper. like I said, I don't really measure, I just go with it. And you stir that in. And you can also eat this with greens. I am a huge lover of greens. I feel like that our society definitely does not eat enough leafy greens on a daily basis. So I'm just going to serve you this alone, but putting it on top of greens and turning it into a salad, like a little chili salad, would be really good too. So I'm going to put these in little bowls here, and you guys can just come up and get them.
How long have you been a raw vegan?
I've been a raw vegan for a little over 4 years. It's excellent. I used to have really bad digestive problems. You can use your imagination with that, and it's definitely improved, and it's wonderful. Because all of these living foods have living fiber and the water, and it really helps the colon. We've got forks and napkins.
It's colorful.
Yes! Okay. Thank you.
Is it true that kale has a lot of complete protein?
Yes.
Kale and what else, spinach?
Yes. I mean, all living foods have protein, even fruit. The protein is definitely a question I get, and it's nothing really to worry about. I think that most people get too much protein, which is really hard on the kidneys and the bowels. And yeah.
What about all your amino acids?
I get everything in my raw vegan diet. The only thing I supplement with is B12. And, you know, we used to get B12 from our soil, but our whole society is completely sterile, and everything's sterile. So I do supplement with B12.
B12.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Did you say you added greens to this?
You can. I didn't with your samples, but I eat almost everything with grains, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to rinse this off, and then we're going to move to the next one. Another wonderful thing that I do is I have a YouTube channel, and I upload videos almost daily, sometimes twice a day, sometimes every couple days, but I do a ton of recipes, and I give a lot more information, and all of that info is on the pamphlets I gave you, so you can check those out. Okay, so now we're moving on to the creamy tahini salad, and I had to do a salad dressing because a huge part of raw veganism to me is fruit. First and foremost, fruit is extremely detoxifying. That's the bulk of my diet is organic, really water-rich fruit. But every night I have a salad, so I have a daily salad habit, and that's another thing that's really transformed my health as well. And one thing that will really help you get amazing salads is a blender. Now I love the Vitamix because it comes with this tamper, and you can just put stuff in there and shove it down with the tamper. Other blenders I don't think have that. And over the years I've just experimented with salad dressings, and sometimes you make good ones, sometimes they don't taste that good. But this one is really good. So the base of it is tahini, which is just blended sesame seeds, and this is the Artisana Organics, and this is raw. They sell a lot of roasted tahinis, but I like the raw one, obviously. So we're going to be putting that in there, and along with 1 zucchini. If you're experimenting with salad dressings, I really suggest adding zucchini in them because it almost has no flavor, and it just really adds volume to the salad dressing. So I'm going to chop up the zucchini here. I really love this recipe also because it's really quick. You just chop it up, put it in the blender, and then you dump it on some greens.
Do you compost your waste?
I don't, but I am a proponent of that for sure.
Of what?
Of composting. I live in an apartment, so it's kind of hard to do that, but that's definitely an awesome thing to do for sure. Okay. Sometimes I do half of lemon, and sometimes I do a full one. Okay. I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. I really like chia seeds because they're really high in omega-3s. And a lot of like sunflower seeds and the tahini and the fats like avocado, they're high in omega-6, which is good, but we always want to balance that out with omega-3s. So hemp seeds are good too, and I just love chia seeds. And this is my favorite brand of them. It's the Aztec Superfoods. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of these.
Are they high in protein?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. All nuts and seeds are. Okay. And I'm going to add about 8 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. I love apple cider vinegar. All you guys have to do is Google the benefits of it, and I think it just tastes so good. Not everyone enjoys the taste of apple cider vinegar, but
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful.
I love it.
And water and
Yeah.
honey. It's an energizer.
It's really, really good for you. This is pouring out here, but we're going to ignore that. Okay. My favorite brand of apple cider vinegar is Bragg's. Okie dokie. Now we're going to add the tahini. Tahini is also really wonderful because it's super creamy. And actually, then we're going to add a little bit of cayenne. I personally love cayenne because it just adds a little kick to stuff. So I put it in a lot of things. But again, not too much. There's also little cherry peppers you can put in, and that gives them a kick. The cayenne's just super easy to put in. Okay, and I'm also going to put in 1 tomato. Depends on the size of the tomatoes. Sometimes I do 2 small tomatoes. But I'm just going to do 1 for today. I just pop it in. I'm going to add a little bit more zucchini. Just going to blend this up. And I really don't like to over blend stuff because I just think it processes it too much. So I just blend as much as it needs and then I stop. Okay. So I've already chopped up, this is about 3 heads of purple green leaf lettuce. I love green leaf lettuce. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour this on top of it. This is spoon here. I'm also going to add a bunch of celery. I really love this salad with a ton of celery. It adds a little bit of a salty kick, and I love that. And then just some chopped up red pepper, or yellow pepper again, and orange pepper. And you just mix it. And this is super creamy. It's super flavorful.
How long can you keep the dressing?
Well, if you add a citrus in it, that's going to be like your preservative, the citric acid. And I would say in an airtight mason jar, probably 2 days. I mean, you could probably go longer, but I really like eating really fresh food, so I don't know if I would go longer than that. All right, so same thing. You guys can come up here and get some salad.
Could you tell us what a typical breakfast for you would be?
A typical breakfast for me is I wake up and I drink a ton of water. I love alkaline spring water. My favorite's the Mountain Valley spring water. And then I go to work and I drink raw coconut water and green juice. I love juicing, and green juices are another thing that has saved me, especially in the beginning. I started juicing every single day, and I think that that is was a huge contributor to my health. But another thing I would eat is just a mono meal of fruit, like 5 or 6 oranges, or 5 mangoes, or a couple cartons of strawberries. I love fruit. Get some forks. I have more forks up here too, if you guys need them. I do. There's some over there. Yeah, they're all over. Yeah. Sure. Go.
Give you nutritional guidelines on what's in this stuff you're making?
You know, I don't, but I'll tell you it's loaded with lots of good stuff.
That's good.
How do you get all your essential amino acids? Like if you're a man who works out, bikes and runs or something like that?
Well, that's where the nuts and seeds come in, and the tahini is.
You don't do don't rice, right? You cook rice.
No, I don't eat
How
rice.
about beans? No beans?
I eat fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. And some seaweeds. Seaweeds are really, really good for you too.
So why is the Mountain Valley spring water your favorite one?
It's my favorite because it's alkaline. It's also spring water. Some people are proponents of distilled water, but I really love drinking spring water. And it's alkaline. I love alkaline water because I think that your body stays really healthy when it's alkaline, and I'm sure you guys have heard that. And most of the foods that people eat on a daily basis are acidic in their nature, and that's another reason why I love raw vegan foods, because they are alkaline. Especially the greens, like green juice, super, super alkaline. So we good here?
Do you drink any kind of teas or anything?
On an occasion, I will drink a tea. It's called Heal All Tea from Dr. Robert Morse. He's a naturopathic doctor in Florida, and his website is, I think it's godsbotanicalpharmacy.com. He has changed my life as well. He's got really good herbs. If you have any type of medical problem, like the lady said, I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not trying to give you guys medical advice, but in my opinion, raw veganism and specifically detoxification can cure anything. And Dr. Morse, he has YouTube videos. It's Morse. You guys should definitely look him up. He's just amazing. I love him. So he has a Heal All Tea, which is extremely detoxifying and really good for you. So I will drink that on occasion. Okay. So we are now moving on to another yummy recipe. They are banana cookies. And they're super, super simple.
Do you buy all your fruits and vegetables in bulk? Or
I don't. I enjoy getting my produce really fresh, so I work like right down the street, so I'll just pop into the store like every other day. But there are tons of raw vegans who buy, big boxes of bananas or fruit, and I've done that before, but typically I don't. Okay, so these are banana cookies, and they are super tasty, and if you don't like bananas, you can replace it with cherries in the summer. Or also, you can buy frozen cherries and then thaw them out, and they're really, really good on top of this too. So what it is in the food processor, we're going to put a bunch of dates. Dates are super good for you. They're also chewy, so they make a really good base for raw vegan pies and crusts. So we're going to put them in here. And I've already pitted these. You've got to make sure you pit dates because that will ruin your recipe and your food processor. And I'm just guesstimating here, probably about 20 dates that are pitted.
What will run your food processor?
Huh?
big bits? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the pits. You gotta take the pits out. Okay, then we're gonna add a little bit of raw coconut water. This is my favorite. It's the Harmless Harvest coconut water, and it's raw. I drink these all of the time. Another alkalizing liquid. Just put a little bit in here.
Why is it pink?
It's pink because of the polyphenols in it. Not all of them are pink, but I think it's healthier for you if they are pink. Okay, then we're gonna add some pecans here for a little crunch.